Hey guys, it's Miss Johnson and I'm here to bring you our notes for Unit 5, Lesson 3. Today we're talking about finding the expected value for betting. So this is the fun day where I get to teach you how to gamble a little bit. So here is how we find the expected value. So one thing I want to remind you or point out is that expected value is really just another way of saying mean. So what is the expected value of a certain bet, or what would the mean or average result be of a certain bet? That's what we're looking at today. So when you are trying to find the expected value, what you want to do is you want to multiply each payoff times the probability of its win. And you might have multiple different payouts. Like there might be multiple ways that you could win a certain bet. So you multiply by the payoff times the win, and then you add the other payoff times the win. You do that however many times you have a payoff, a payout. Then at the end, you're going to subtract whatever your bet amount is times the probability that you lose. Okay, so yesterday we talked a little bit about multiplying all those fractions together. Here's where that's going to come into play, because you're going to have a bunch of fractions times the probability, then a fraction times the probability, then a fraction times the probability. You're going to be adding and subtracting those all together. Let's take a look at number 1. It says find the expected value for betting. So 2 dice are rolled. Right away you know that you have 36 outcomes because you're rolling 2 dice. Okay. So 36 total. You place a $2 bet. That's your cost. Then it says if a 5 comes up, you win $6. If a 12 comes up, you win $10. So there's 2 payouts there. Now, we have to think of all the ways that you can get a 5 when you roll 2 dice. So if you have a 1 and a 4, or a 2 and a 3 and a 2, or a 4 and a 1. So that means there are 4 wins. Okay, and then for the 12, there's only a 6 and a 6. That's it. So there's only 1 win there. Okay, here's the other thing you need to know. You have 36 total ways you can, or results, 36 possible outcomes. You have 4 wins for this one, 1 win for that one. So that's a total of 5 wins. Okay. So then what that means is you need to find how often do you lose? What is the probability that you lose here? So if I take 36 total minus 5 wins, that means I have 31 losses. Okay, so you're going to need that when you calculate the probability of losing. You've got 36 total, 5 wins, 31 losses. All right, so now let's set this up. So if I'm going to set up my expected value for betting, that means I'm looking at the probability of, the amount that you win, $6, times the probability that you win that certain bet. So times 4 out of 36. Okay. Then to that, I'm adding the other win. The payout is $10 times the probability that you win. There's 1 win out of 36. Then those are my only 2 payouts. Then I'm going to subtract the bet amount, $2 for the bet amount, times the amount of ways you can lose. So your probability of losing is 31 out of 36. Okay. So I've got payoff times the probability of winning, then payout times the probability of winning, minus bet dollar amount times the probability, I keep writing my parentheses first, probability of losing. There you go. Now we're going to go ahead and calculate these things. Remember that this is 6 over 1 and I can just multiply my numerators. So that's the same thing as 24 out of 36 plus 10 out of 36 minus 62 out of 36. Now, when you add and subtract fractions, you add their numerators. So I am looking at 24 plus 10 minus 62. That's what I need right there. 24 plus 10 minus 62 to see what that gives me. I'm going to bust out my calculator here and give it a go. 24 plus 10 minus 62 gives me negative 28. Negative 28 out of 36. Okay, so let's calculate what that is as a value. Negative 28 divided by 36 gives me negative 0.78, we'll call it. So it's about negative 0.78 for your expected value. So what does that mean? So have you heard the phrase, the house always wins? This is one of those ways where you are learning that the house always wins. Your expected value for this particular bet is negative 79 cents. This is a dollar amount here. So that's your expected value. If I'm expecting to earn negative 79 cents here, that means I'm losing money. That means this bet is maybe not one that's super worth taking, okay? Now, 79 cents is not so bad. That we'll certainly see values that'll be much lower than that, but it's still a negative amount, which means that your expected value is to lose money. All right, let's take a look at example 2. In example 2, we're again looking at dice. So I know that I have 36, 2 dice are rolled, so that's 36 total. Then it says you're placing a $1 bet, that's your cost. So if a 4 comes up, you win $12. So how can I win a 4? I can get a 1 and a 3, I can get a 2 and a 2, and I can get a 3 and a 1, that's it. So 3 wins. If a 7 comes up, you win $2. There's lots of ways to get 7. 1 and 6, 2 and 5, 3 and 4, and then 4 and 3, and 5 and 2, and 6 and 1. So there's 6 wins there, okay? That means I have 36 minus 9 is 27 losses. I got that 9 from adding my 2 wins together. So I take the total ways, which is 36, I subtract the 3 and the 6, and I get 27 losses. Okay, cool. So let's set it up. So my expected value for betting is going to be the payout, $12, times the probability of winning, which is 3 out of 36. I have the other payout, which is $2, times the probability of winning, which is 6 out of 36. And then minus the bet amount, $1 times 27 losses, 27 out of 36. Okay, so again, like this is a win, this is a win, this is your loss. So you have to subtract, that's why you're subtracting that away. Okay, so now if we look at this mathematically, 12 times 3 gives me 36. So I have 36 out of 36. Plus 2 times 6, which is 12 out of 36, minus 1 times 27, which is 27 out of 36. Add those numerators together. 36 plus 12 is 48. 48 minus 27 is 29, I think. 48 minus 27, I was just kidding, 21. Hello, I can do math in my head, I promise. 21 out of 36, but nonetheless, it's positive here, so that's good. 21 out of 36 is 0.58. So 0.58 is my bet amount there. And again, or my expected value. This is my expected value for betting. And again, that's in dollars. So that's an expected value that's positive. That tells you that it might be worth actually taking this bet. All right, so let's take a look at the next example, example 3. So 2 dice are rolled, we're back at dice. $3 bet. If an 8 or a 6 comes up, you win $4. So there's really only one payout here, but there's lots of ways you can win because we got to look at 8 and 6. So for 8, we have 2 and 6, 6 and 2. We have 4 and 4. We have 3 and 5, and 5 and 3, okay? For 6, we have 1 and 5, 5 and 1, 2 and 4, 4 and 2, and I'm missing one, 3 and 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 wins. So this was 36 total, 10 wins, which means 26 losses. All right, so here's my expected value for betting. The reason I'm doing a subscript, by the way, this subscript of bet, is because tomorrow we're going to do expected value for pay to play, which is something a little bit different. This is betting. You lay your money down on the table. If you win your bet, you get your money back, okay? So that's what's happening here. Tomorrow we do expected value for pay to play, which is a little different. All right, so for expected value betting, we've got a payout of $4 times a probability of winning of 10 out of 36. That's our only payout. So then I'm just going to subtract the losses. So a bet amount of $3 times a probability of losing of 26 out of 36. Okay, so let's multiply. I have 40 out of 36 minus 3 times 26. 3 times 26 gives me 78. So minus 78. Some of you can already see that you're going to end up with a negative amount here. 40 minus 78 is negative 38. Yeah, negative 38 out of 36, so a little over negative 1. Negative 38 divided by 36 is negative 1.06. So negative 1.06 is my expected value there. And again, that's in dollars. So this is probably a bet I wouldn't take. That's a negative win. Like, that's a negative gain on average. So if it's a negative gain on average, probably not doing it. Let's do this with cards. Let's take a look at a deck of cards and see what happens here. So draw a card from a standard deck. So we're drawing one card. This is pretty simple here. Like, obviously when you go and actually place bets on things, it gets exponentially more complicated when you're doing multiple cards or when you're playing poker and you've got a 5-card hand. That's a lot different. But we're just going to draw one card and see, get a little glimpse of what this looks like. We've got a $3 bet. So again, you've got 52 total cards. It says if you draw a red king, you win $5. That's 2 wins. If you draw a club, you win $1. That's 13 wins. So a total of 15 wins. If I subtract the 2 and the 13, 52 minus 15 gives me 37. So that means I have 37 losses. All right, so here's my expected value. I have 2 payouts here. $5 for 2 wins out of 52, plus $1 for 13 wins out of 52, minus the bet amount of $3 times 37 losses out of 52. Multiply all those together, that's 10 out of 52, plus 13 out of 52, minus 3 times 37, I don't know that off the top of my head, 111 out of 52. All right, so let's add those up. That's 23 minus 111, negative 88. Going well here. Negative 88 divided by 52. Negative 88 divided by 52 is negative 1.69. 1.69. And again, this is a dollar amount. You are at a negative gain. Remember when I said the house always wins? Okay, this is telling you house always wins. So if you haven't heard that phrase before, that's a little gambling casino phrase for you. The house always wins. All right, let's take a look at one more example with cards. So draw a card, standard deck, $2 bet. So that's 52 total cards. All right, so here we go. If we get a 2, a 3, or a 4, you win $2. So 2, 3, 4, there's 4 of those, 4 of those, and 4 of those. That's 12 wins. If an ace is drawn, you win $5. That's 4 wins. And if the queen of hearts is drawn, you win $10. That's 1 win. So 3 different ways you can get a payout here. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 wins. 52 minus 17 means 35 losses. So there's 35 cards that you could draw that are losers in this scenario. So my expected value for betting looks like $2 for a 12 out of 52 win, probability of winning, plus $5 for a 4 out of 52 probability of winning, plus one more payout, $10 times a 1 out of 52 probability of winning, minus all the rest. So a $2 bet times a 35 out of 52 probability of winning. All right, here we go. Let's put all that together. So I've got 24 out of 52 plus 20 out of 52 plus 10 out of 52 minus 70 out of 52. And putting all those together, I have 24 plus 20 plus 10 minus 70, negative 16 out of 52. Still a loss here. Although this might be one that's maybe worth taking. Negative 16 out of 52 it's a negative amount, but it's pretty low. Negative 0.31. So your expected value is negative 31 cents, basically. 0.31 in terms of dollars. So that's my expected value. Now, negative 31 cents isn't so bad of a loss. There's still quite a bit of a chance that you could win here. But again, it's still a negative expected value. So that's the mean. That's on average what's happening. All right, so that takes us to the end of our notes for expected value betting. So thanks for tuning in today, and go ahead and work on your practice assignment. If you have questions, let me know, and I will catch you next time.